Welcome to College Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: prize-winning U.S. physicist Gao Huajian returns to China after decades overseas. Youth Development Initiative inspires new generation of Nigerians. Roy Khan, a pioneer of organ transplant surgery, dies at 93. Jim Harbaugh interviews with Falcons for head coaching vacancy after talking with Chargers. ACU reveals $3.6 million underpayment of casual staff, denies wage theft. Prize-winning U.S. physicist Gao Huajian returns to China after decades overseas. South China Morning Post. Renowned physicist Gao Huajian, a multi-award winner, has joined Tsinghua University in China as a full-time chair professor. Gao, who has worked at prestigious universities in the US, Europe, and Asia, will play a key role in talent training and innovation, boosting engineering programs and helping China achieve technological self-reliance. His research focuses on materials science, nanotechnology, and bioengineering. Gao has received numerous awards for his pioneering research and has collaborated on projects such as developing biomedical materials and protective outfits for the elderly. Youth Development Initiative inspires new generation of Nigerians. Financial Times. Smarten House, a youth development program in Nigeria, is working to help high-performing school leavers from poorer communities gain the knowledge and skills to pursue professional careers. Launched in March 2023, the initiative exposes teenagers to technologies including AI, data analytics, and cybersecurity, and offers them work experience with organizations such as Sterling Bank and Bet9ja. Participants in the free, year-long program are aged 14 to 19 and are chosen via an 8-week residential course. Smarten House aims to equip all participants with the skills to make smarter choices in their career and personal lives. The program is currently majority male and efforts to increase female participation have been unsuccessful. However, program participant Stephanie Bassi is optimistic, stating that she believes Africa will offer more opportunities for women in the future. Smarten House hopes to secure funding from international bodies in the near future, and its success could potentially demonstrate an alternative path to growth and success for young Nigerians. Roy Khan, a pioneer of organ transplant surgery, dies at 93. Washington Post. Surgeon Sir Roy Khan, who died recently at the age of 93, is credited with revolutionizing organ transplant surgery and pioneering the use of drugs and surgical techniques. While working as a medical student in 1950, he was told to make a dying patient with kidney failure comfortable, as the patient would be dead in 2 weeks. He queried whether it was possible to remove the failing kidney and replace it with a working one. When told it was impossible, Khan decided to find a way. He sought to find a way to transplant new organs and to convince the body to accept them. After years of research, he was able to use a drug, cyclosporin, to improve the 1-year survival rate of kidney transplant patients from 50% to 80%. The drug was later credited with transforming attitudes towards transplant surgery. Later, he performed the first heart, lung and liver transplant on the same patient and a cluster transplant involving stomach, small intestine, liver, pancreas and kidney. In 1994, he published a book warning about overpopulation and suggesting legal control of parenting. Jim Harbaugh interviews with Falcons for head coaching vacancy after talking with Chargers. Associated Press. Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh interviewed with the Atlanta Falcons for their head coaching vacancy on Tuesday. This comes after an interview with the Los Angeles Chargers on Monday. Harbaugh previously coached the San Francisco 49ers from 2011 to 2014. The Falcons also interviewed Bill Belichick, the former New England Patriots coach. Harbaugh has an 89-25 record in 9 seasons at Michigan. Belichick has 333 victories, second all-time to Don Shula's 347. The Falcons previously conducted virtual interviews with 5 candidates. ACU reveals $3.6 million underpayment of casual staff, denies wage theft. ABC. The Australian Catholic University, ACU, has admitted to underpaying approximately 1,100 casual staff around $3.6 million Australian dollars, $2.7 million, between 2016 and 2023. The university said that inaccuracies in the calculation of entitlements led to the underpayments. It said that some sessional staff who were entitled to higher rates of pay were left underpaid. ACU denies wage theft and says it did not intend to underpay employees. The university is contacting affected staff and will pay them in full, with interest, as soon as possible. ACU is the latest in a long list of Australian tertiary education organisations to have underpaid their staff. New Zealand's first refugee lawmaker resigns after claims of shoplifting. Associated Press. Galras Garaman, New Zealand's first refugee MP, has resigned following allegations that she shoplifted from high-end boutiques. Gao, a member of the Green Party, resigned with immediate effect due to stresses relating to my work. She did not specify the allegations but apologized and said that she had acted in ways completely out of character and was not well. Gao, an Iranian-born human rights lawyer, was elected to parliament in 2017. She has been an advocate for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas conflict. Choosing between life insurance or taking a genetic test is no laugh for comedian Michelle Brazier. ABC. Australian comedian Michelle Brazier has spoken out about the dilemma she faces regarding genetic testing for cancer risk and life insurance. Brazier has a 97% chance of contracting cancer and is considering undergoing genetic testing to determine her level of risk more precisely. However, she is hesitant to do so because it could affect her eligibility for life insurance. Currently, Australian life insurers can request and use genetic testing results to underwrite their policies. Brazier is adding her voice to a campaign calling for a total ban on the use of genetic testing results by life insurers. Here are the top Greater Cincinnati developments to watch in 2024. Yahoo! Cincinnati's top 10 development projects to watch in 2024 include the construction of Photofocus Center in Mount Auburn, Ovations Boardwalk Residences in Newport, Covington City Hall in Covington, the Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Library in downtown Cincinnati, Graphite in Oakley, Hub Cincinnati in Clifton Heights, Artworks HQ in Walnut Hills, the Mercantile in downtown Cincinnati, Cincinnati Public Radio HQ in Evanston, and 1NKY Center in Covington. These projects range from the construction of new buildings to renovations and expansions of existing structures. They include residential, commercial, and public spaces. Photofocus Center is a two-story standalone structure that will serve as the headquarters for the photography nonprofit Photofocus. The building will include office space, gallery space, and an outdoor terrace. Ovations Boardwalk Residences is a mixed-use development with condominiums and retail and restaurant space. Covington City Hall will feature a public plaza, limestone finish, and space for future growth. The Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Library is undergoing renovations and will reopen this spring. Graphite in Oakley is a multifamily housing project with various amenities. Hub Cincinnati is a student housing development near the University of Cincinnati. Artworks HQ is a renovation of a historic warehouse into an office and creative campus. The Mercantile is a mixed-use development with apartments and commercial units. Cincinnati Public Radio HQ is the new headquarters for Cincinnati Public Radio. 1NKY Center is an office building serving as a headquarters for nonprofit groups and regional organizations. These projects reflect the ongoing development and growth in Cincinnati and the surrounding region. They contribute to the revitalization of neighborhoods, provide new housing options, and enhance cultural and community spaces. Moore scores 17 points and makes all 7 shots as number 11 Texas women ease past Kansas 91-56. Associated Press. Number 11 Texas defeated Kansas 91-56 in a women's college basketball game on Tuesday night. Aaliyah Moore scored 17 points for Texas, making all 7 of her shots, while freshman Madison Booker added 15 points. Texas took a double-digit lead in the first quarter and maintained it throughout the game. The Longhorns shot 59% from the field, including 4 of 6 from three-point range, while Kansas turned the ball over 12 times and shot just 37%. Smia Nichols led Kansas with 14 points. Texas improves to 17-2 on the season. Do we get more right-wing as we get older? Not in the West. Telegraph. The rise of radical right-wing politics among the under-35s is the subject of a new series on BBC Radio 4. The Kids Are Alt-Right? Examines the phenomenon of younger people becoming more politically extreme. The series also explores how political parties exploit the passion and idealism of their young members, particularly in election years. Presenters James Tilley and Rob Ford discuss the appeal of politician Giorgia Meloni to young Italians and her passion for the conservative classic The Lord of the Rings. This stock can overcome housing market woes to post further gains. Telegraph. Berkeley Group's recent half-year results show it is facing a challenging operating environment in the UK housing market. The company delivered 15% fewer homes compared to the same period last year, while earnings per share declined by 1%. However, Berkeley Group's balance sheet remains strong, with a net cash position of £422 million and expected pre-tax profits of at least £1.5 billion over the next 3 years. The company also has a pipeline of 13,500 plots and £7.2 billion of future gross margin in its land holdings. Investors are optimistic about the company's prospects amid the possibility of interest rate cuts and an improving economic outlook. Captain Bob Pardo, Vietnam War pilot who devised the Pardo's push aerial maneuver, obituary. Telegraph. Bob Pardo, an American pilot, has died at the age of 89. During the Vietnam War, Pardo devised an aerial maneuver called Pardo's push that kept his wingman's plane aloft until they could reach friendly airspace. In March 1967, Pardo's mission to bomb a steel mill near Hanoi went wrong when both planes were hit by anti-aircraft fire. Pardo's wingman's plane was losing fuel rapidly, so Pardo came up with the idea to use the tailhook to push the damaged plane. Both aircrews were eventually rescued, but Pardo was nearly court-martialed for the loss of the planes. He was awarded the Silver Star in 1989. Reading Science Center receives $25,000 state grant. Yahoo! The Reading Science Center in Pennsylvania has received a $25,000 grant from the state to support its Sisters in STEM program, which aims to break down gender stereotypes and encourage girls' interest in science. The program, which began in 2020, offers girls in grades 4 to 6 a comprehensive experience including weekly exhibits, science lessons led by educators, and talks by female scientists. Despite the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, the program has grown from an initial cohort of 8 girls to 35. The grant was secured by State Representative Mark Rossi, who praised the center's impact on young people. Clark moves into 4th on NCAA scoring list as number 2 Iowa beats Wisconsin. Associated Press. Caitlin Clark scored 32 points to help number 2 Iowa defeat Wisconsin 96-50 in a women's basketball game. Clark's performance moved her into 4th place on the all-time NCAA Division I women's basketball scoring list with 3,306 career points. She passed Baylor's Brittany Griner on the list. Clark is currently the nation's leading scorer, averaging 30.9 points per game. In the same game, Kate Martin had 16 points and Sydney Afalter had 12 for Iowa. Wisconsin's Sarah Williams had 19 points and 14 rebounds. In another game, number 11 Texas beat Kansas 91-56, with Aaliyah Moore scoring 17 points and making all 7 of her shots. Texas had a strong first half, shooting 59% from the field, while Kansas struggled with turnovers and shooting. Just offering college, career pathways for students. Yahoo! The Marysville Joint Unified School District in California is focused on providing more opportunities for students to gain college or career experience. The district already has a college and career technical education program in each of its high schools, and has established partnerships with organizations such as Hard Rock Hotel and 93Q Radio to provide internships and job shadowing experiences. For the 2023-24 school year, the district will offer a multimedia and broadcast pathway at Lyndhurst High School, while plans are underway for a medical academy at Marysville High School. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six from the 6 Degrees World, bringing you the latest news from across the globe. Today, we explored a range of stories, from the return of a prize-winning physicist to China, to a youth development initiative in Nigeria, to the passing of a pioneer in organ transplant surgery. We also looked at the world of sports, with interviews for coaching vacancies and college basketball victories. And we delved into topics such as underpaid staff at a university, a refugee lawmaker's resignation, and the dilemma of genetic testing and life insurance. Finally, we highlighted exciting development projects in Cincinnati and a grant supporting girls' interest in science. Now, let's dive deeper into these stories. Gao Huajian's return to China is a significant development for the country's engineering programs and technological self-reliance. His expertise in materials science, nanotechnology, and bioengineering will undoubtedly contribute to advancements in these fields. Meanwhile, the Smarten House program in Nigeria is inspiring a new generation of high-performing students to pursue professional careers. The initiative's focus on technology and work experience with established organizations can open doors for these talented individuals. The passing of Sir Roy Khan reminds us of the remarkable progress made in organ transplant surgery. Khan's pioneering work and use of drugs such as cyclosporin have significantly improved the survival rates of transplant patients. His contributions to the field will continue to shape the future of medicine. On a different note, the interviews with Jim Harbaugh for coaching vacancies in the NFL show the high demand for experienced and successful coaches. It will be interesting to see where his career takes him next. In Australia, the underpayment of casual staff at the Australian Catholic University is a concerning issue. While the university denies wage theft and promises to rectify the situation, it highlights the need for fair treatment of employees in the tertiary education sector. Additionally, the resignation of Galras Garaman, New Zealand's first refugee lawmaker, following allegations of shoplifting, is a surprising turn of events. We hope she receives the support she needs during this challenging time. Comedian Michelle Brazier's dilemma regarding genetic testing and life insurance exposes a broader issue. The use of genetic testing results by life insurers raises ethical questions and calls for a reconsideration of current policies. Brazier's involvement in the campaign for a ban on the use of genetic testing results is a step towards a fairer system. Turning to Cincinnati, the city's top development projects promise exciting changes for the region. These projects will revitalize neighborhoods, provide new housing options, and enhance cultural and community spaces. It's an exciting time for the city and its residents. In the world of sports, we witnessed impressive victories in women's college basketball. Texas and Iowa showcased their talent and cemented their positions as top-ranked teams. Caitlin Clark's ascent to fourth place on the all-time NCAA Division I women's basketball scoring list is a remarkable achievement. Lastly, the Marysville Joint Unified School District in California is committed to providing students with valuable college and career experiences. Their partnerships and programs are equipping young individuals with the skills and opportunities they need to succeed in the future. That's all for today's news roundup. I hope you enjoyed the stories and analysis. Now, I invite you, my wonderful audience, to share your thoughts and questions. What do you think about Gao Huajian's return to China? How can initiatives like Smarten House in Nigeria inspire young people around the world? Do you have any ideas on how to address the underpayment of staff at universities? And what are your thoughts on genetic testing and its impact on life insurance? I look forward to hearing your perspectives. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.